अथैतदप्यशक्तोऽसि कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागम् ततः कुरु यतात्मवान्.
If you are incapable of even this, functioning as my ambassador, then self-restrained, practicing union with me, relinquish the fruit of all actions. Sarva karma phalatyagam. So, this verse comes into play when your desires are still more. Your selfishness is still more. Then he says, all right, go ahead, fulfill your desires, but at least relinquish the fruit of the desire. Relinquish the anxiety for the fruit, the obsession with the fruit. That is why when you go to a guru, to a temple, to God, the tradition is you take fruits with you. Isn't that true? Why do you take fruit? It's not that God is going to sit there eating the fruit. You take the fruit as to symbolize that you are working in the world, you are pursuing material, sensual activities, but at least the fruit of your action you are offering to God. So every little ritual, every custom in our culture has a deep philosophical significance. So the next time you take fruit, don't go there saying, expensive fruit, why should I give it? It's very cheap from your, if you take a look at what is the significance. So let's take a look at why he's saying fruit. Fruit belongs to the future. Action is in the present. The present action itself becomes the fruit at a future period of time. So when your focus, concentration is entirely on the present action and the present action is performed perfectly, the fruit automatically becomes successful. So you don't have to worry about the fruit. The fruit is unknown. Present action is known. Focus on what is known. What is unknown, delete from your mind. The fruit is the resultant of all your actions put together, which you don't know. You don't know what actions you performed in the past. Present action is just unit action, one action. If you upgrade all your present actions, that means moment to moment you are performing perfect action, the resultant of all perfect actions will be perfect. So you don't have to worry about the fruit. The fruit is beyond your control. From another perspective, the fruit is dependent on so many factors over which you have no control. The only thing you have control over is present action, your action. Focus on that. That will influence the totality. That will influence the fruit. So when your focus is on the fruit, you're dependent, you're weak, you're a victim. When your focus is on action, you are independent, you are the master, not a slave. What is it that makes you look into the fruit? It's your mind. The intellect is that which makes your mind remain on the present action. So let's take a look at what happens. The intellect sets the goal. You see, why we're looking at this is, you might say, if I don't have a goal in mind, action itself will come to an end. For instance, if tomorrow you say, I have no desire, no goal, no fruit to learn the 12th chapter of the Gita, then what will happen? Action will not be there, you won't come here. So how does it fit in? He says, the intellect sets the goal, fixes the goal. It is the mind that gets obsessed with the goal. So what must you do? Fix a goal. You understand this is the fruit that I want. Then you work out a plan of action. In order to achieve this result, what must I do? Let's say a young man decides that I have talent in cricket and he sees the World Cup, matches being played, he gets this desire, I want to be a cricketer of international caliber. So that's his goal. He doesn't achieve that by just sitting there and saying, I want to be there. Having fixed the goal, he has to work out a plan of action. What do I need to do in order to get there? And perform every action diligently, consistently, with great devotion. And if he performs every action perfectly, he will get the result. The intellect, as long as the intellect focuses on the present action, it energizes you. At any point in time you say, oh, I want the fruit, it enervates you. You become weak. The intellect calms you. The mind disturbs you. As long as you're focusing with your intellect, relatively you have less stress. If you allow your mind to run riot, you are in great deal of stress. When you function with the intellect, your desires reduce. When you allow your mind to run riot, desires increase. Most importantly, when you function with your intellect, you achieve success. So this is the first lesson that we learn in spirituality. Bring your intellect into play. Scan all your desires with the intellect. Let the intellect decide what course of action you need to take. And then have the courage to follow the intellect. Otherwise, however talented you may be, however skilled you may be, the net result, if you function on whims and fancies of the mind, is failure. So, whatever be the fruit of your honest endeavors in life, accept them as prasad from the Lord. Sometimes the fruit may be positive, sometimes the fruit may be negative. Sometimes good things may happen to you, sometimes bad things may happen to you. But just as a child has complete faith in the mother, irrespective of what the mother does. The mother sometimes fondles the child, kisses the child, showers the child with affection. At other times, the mother scolds the child and is harsh with the child. No child ever says, when the mother scolds the child doesn't say, I want a different mother. You know, sometimes you see on the streets, the mother mercilessly beats the child because she is taking out her frustration on the child. Street dwellers. Again and again the child cries, hurts, pains, but goes back to the mother. Similarly, a Bhakta is one who understands even when the worst of things happen. A Bhakta understands God in His kindness and love is giving me what I need. And this gives you the power to go through with even the worst circumstances, worst experiences of life. So then he uses the word self-restraint, self-control. So what is self-control? Once you fix a goal, anything that interferes with your achievement of the goal, with your progress towards the goal, you should have the courage to say no to. So the moment you have a goal and you have a desire to achieve the goal, automatically self-control comes into play. But any activity, an indulgence, an enjoyment which does not interfere with the pursuit of your goal, you have no reason to say no to it. Go ahead and enjoy it without any guilt. So self-control is not unnecessary self-denial and frustration. Self-control is only having a sense of proportion, a sense of what to do when, so that you enjoy life to the fullest and you achieve whatever goal you've set for yourself. So this brings us to the end of this topic, which deals with graded alternatives. And then in verse 12 he summarizes.